Beyond the Visionaries, Inc., relaying stories with the link. Greetings, PSDNs. I am Rama Manawis.
And I am Anne Ilagan.
And I am Kirsten Ko.
Reporting for the Links broadcast.
Now for the headlines.
Supreme Student Government pitches pencil seed in Project Eco.
Parent-Teacher Association elects new Board of Directors.
Buwan ng Wika, laganap na ipinagdiriwang.
Pooh and friends take over the Supreme Student Government's Valorant Scholars Tournament.
Qatar reaches great heights with upcoming FIFA World Cup 2022.
PSDNs get global laud.
PSD and Qatar representatives grab the World Dance Champ title.
To begin with, let us start with SSG pitch projects, the Pencil Seed, and Project Eco.
Let's hear from Angel David on how these projects can help imprint the values of pro-people and pro-environment in PSDNs.
The PSD Supreme Student Government launched two projects last August 18 through a virtual kickoff program, the Pencil Seed and Project Environmental Conservation Organization, or in short, Project Eco. According to SSG's acting president, Mary Carandang, the Pencil Seed campaign, which pioneered in 2016 and relaunched in 2021, aims to support Philippine School Doha's Adopt a Hometown School program by granting financial aid, distributing school necessities, and renovating campus grounds. She urged PSDNs to imprint the spirit of volunteerism and the value of pro-people in their hearts for eternity. All students are encouraged to participate in the Pencil Seed program by donating school supplies and learning resources until February 9, 2023 from 7 a.m. to 12:10 p.m. Meanwhile, Kent Salonga, SSG's Grade 12 representative, presented the accomplishment report of Project Eco, which Dr. Evelyn Marinas, Dr. Noemi Farmaran, Roma Manois from Grade 12 Mercury, and Angela Mandin from Grade 12 Niobium founded in the last school year, along with 53 other senior high school students. This project aims in promoting sustainability in the campus. An online webinar, a competition in which senior high school sections had the least amount of desktop computer screen time, and posters posted around the campus hallways to remind students that sustainability exists were among the features of this initiative. To remind students about recycling, waste bins were placed beside comfort rooms and vending machines. Part of the objectives of Project Eco is to influence students to conserve energy. Salonga emphasized that we can all unite in taking care of our environment to preserve the Earth's past, sustain the Earth's present, and to ensure the Earth's future. The Project Eco Committee has the following programs lined up for the current school year. Number 1, plastic bottle and waste collection. Number 2, classroom patrolling. And number 3, beach cleanup drive collaboration with the Doha Environmental Actions Project. Dr. Acosta, PSD school principal, encouraged the students to be generous. According to him, a single drop of help you make will create an ocean of assistance to students in the Philippines.
Last August 20, the Parents Teachers Association elected its new board of directors for this school year. To know more about this event, let's call on Naira Sally for her news report.
PSD's Parents Teachers Association held its annual election of its board of directors virtually on August 20. The homeroom PTA officers of each section were elected a week prior in order to give time for the presidents to gather nominations to be elevated to the BOD election. Of the 26 HRPTA candidates, the top 10 candidates with the highest votes were made to convene to appoint the next batch of directors. The election was done through the comfort of answering Google Forms. Joseph Marius R. Macaraig, a grade 4 empathy parent, was chosen to be this school year's PTA BOD president. He has served the PTA BOD since 2016, assuming positions such as auditor, PRO, and vice president in different years. Along with distinct professional affiliations, he also actively fulfilled his role as Medical Mission Group Qatar Audit Chairman, Filipino Four-Wheelers Founding Officer, and Couples for Christ Qatar member. Meanwhile, here's the complete list of the new set of officers in the PTA-BOD. President, Joseph Marius R. Macaraig. Vice President, Mark Anthony P. Abendan. Secretary, Diane Christine Joy C. Bonsol. Treasurer, Mario S. Oligo. Auditor, Denise D. Robles. Business Manager, Romeo D. Manawis. PRO, Ismael J.R. G. Benavides. And Parent Representatives, J. Carlo D. Rivera, Jason E. Gonzalvo, and Joseph Timothy Rivera. Appointed by the respective departments, the following teachers are in close coordination with the organization and their respective departments as teacher representatives to help execute programs and activities of the PTA-BOD. Preschool Department, Mrs. Afi Laroa. Primary Department, Mrs. Maribel Lantejas and Miss Veronica Moto. Intermediate Department, Mr. Daryl Alicamen. Junior High School Department, Mr. Arnie Gutierrez, and Senior High School Department, Ms. Arlene Aboga. The Board of Directors is a parent-teacher organization in service as PSD's governing body responsible for administering activities and decisions of the school that involve parents and the faculty and staff. Annually, the BOD's election smooth flow is made through the efforts of the election committee canvassers led by Mr. Roberto C. Jacob, Mrs. Maria Cristina Leanda, and Mrs. Tess San Jose.
Para naman matunghayan ang mga naganap noong nakaraang buwan ng wika, nakatutok si Mariam Anwar.
Nakiisa ang bawat baitang sa buong paaralan sa pagbubuni sa buwan ng wikang pambansa sa pamamagitan ng mga palatuntunan at patimpalak noong ika-31 ng Agosto. Ipinagdiwang ng Departamento ng Senior High School at Primarya ang taon ng selebrasyon ng buwan ng wika sa pamamagitan ng Zoom. Samantala, idinaos naman ng Junior High School ang selebrasyon batay sa gawaing pangsilid-aralan ng mga mag-aaral. Isang ipagdiriwang naman ang dinaluhan ng mga guro at mag-aaral mula sa primarya noong ika-31 na may temang Filipino at mga katutubong wika, kasangkapan sa pagtuklas at paglikha, upang sariwahin, pahalagahan at ipagbunyi ang wikang Filipino at mga katutubong wika sa buwan ng Agosto. Nagdala rin ng mga kakanin Pinoy upang ibahagi ang kanilang pagbibigay halaga sa wikang Filipino, mga katutubong wika at mga pagkain mula sa iba't ibang lalawigan sa Pilipinas. Magugunitang dahil sa pandemya, ito ang unang taon kung saan nanumbalik ang pagdiriwang ng buwan ng wika na naglalayon maituro sa mga PSDians na huwag kalimutan ang wika at kultura kahit pa nasa ibayong dagat.
There is no doubt that the Filipino language is vital in realizing the identity of the Philippines. In the same way, history is also important in realizing the impact that the Filipinos of the past had on the Filipinos today. To remind us of the importance of getting to know our rich history, let us call on Daniela Latorre.
History is like chismis, tugon ng Marites. When Cecilia Beher is kicked and beaten, Carmencita Florentino is arrested twice, and Alex Herculio is shot 13 times. You do not let ignorance reign in your memory. History is like chismis, says the privileged who are blinded by the empty promises of those who once abused power. Truly, birds of the same feather flock together. How easy it is for you to forget. While no person deserves hatred over a single mistake, it is imperative for one to recognize accountability, especially if the prospect of historical revisionism is on the line. Comparing history to gossip is outright disdainful to those who studied for years, so that the mistakes of yesterday will not be repeated. Agreeing to the statement denies the truth, facts, evidence, and comprehensive research. 3,000 killed, 30,000 tortured, 70,000 imprisoned. As hearsay begs to romanticize the image of an oppressed country, history is not and will never be just words bickered to flatter one side of a coin. It is the blood of those who were silenced for voicing out the truth, the sweat of those who marched down EDSA to gain freedom from the dictator's grievance, and the tears of those who lost a loved one and have not attained justice since then. Times like these when we realize the importance of history class. Remembering the painful sins of the past might just be enough to trigger the conscience of those who inflicted abuse onto our countrymen. Cecilia Beher, Carmencita Florentino, and Alex Herculio did not compromise their security for you to believe in black propaganda instead. They are history.
I think I'll need a breather to let that sink in. So, before we continue with the regular programming, let us have the weather report, a guide on winter in Qatar, brought by Sebastian Sarmiento.
Thank you, Anne. Winter is known as the season of cold, freezing winds, snuggling up with warm clothes, and the time when the snow starts to fall or heavier rains begin to pour. But for a desert country, with a small and flat nature, Qatar's winter is to be expected a bit drier than said experiences. Ergo, kids will not be able to play snowball fights or take a bath in the rain. Though it does have a fairly stable weather throughout, certain areas, however, are more likely to experience sudden climatic changes, while others remain the same. For example, if it is raining strongly in West Bay, there may be a time when Al Azizia, where Villaggio Mall is located, has the sun shining brightly. It is quite a bizarre occurrence worth seeing for yourselves. Experiencing the various activities in Qatar can be rather challenging when the seasons are at their peaks. The weather is now transitioning to its cold state, meaning the winds are getting stronger and colder, around 23 degrees Celsius when the sun's out, and 19 degrees at nighttime. But do not let the night's temperature fool you. It can get even colder than that because of the sand all over the country. Winter in a desert country is all about the freedom to finally go outside and do what Qatar can offer to you. The most popular activity is to go camping along the shorelines of the country, complete with tents and grills, and laughter all around. And once night falls, be sure that you have brought materials for a campfire, because hearing the sound of the waves gliding across the shore beside a fire is the most relaxing thing one can never forget. You could also explore and find yourself captivated by the falcons flying in the air at the Marmi International Falconry and Hunting Festival, left in awe by the wonders of cultures passed down by generations at the Cultural Festival. Or simply have your mouth water over various food prepared by various people at the International Food Festival, for festivals in Qatar become more prominent or active once winter comes. Lastly, do keep in mind that, like most countries, winter is the season of flu. Remember to take care of yourself properly. Have some rest and stay healthy to prevent or reduce its effects. As for the weather itself, wearing warmer clothes like jackets or sweaters and wearing longer undergarments like jogging pants or joggers are recommended during this season. Winter in Qatar won't be much of a problem once you get the hang of what to do and prepare for. It is a fun season worth all of your time. So get out and enjoy the weather. More so now that the Winter Wonderland amusement park near Vendome Mall, Lusail, is almost complete. And that is all for the weather.
Thank you for that, Sam. Now, let us move on to the sports section of this broadcast. Roma, would you like to introduce us to our next correspondent?
Surely, Kirstine. As the state of Qatar makes history as the first Middle Eastern country to host the FIFA World Cup, PSD makes a name for itself in esports competitions. Let's call on Sebastian Sarmiento for his report on the Valorant Scholars Tournament.
Thank you, Roma. Two Valorant esports teams, Pooh and friends, and not even trolling, faced off against one another in the championship match of the first Valorant Scholars Tournament, which was live streamed on Facebook by the Supreme Student Government on August 27, 2022. Out of all 24 teams, each team had 5 players, and these were the 2 teams that have gotten this far. The championship game lasted 37 minutes, and PAF was declared the champion after winning 13-4. Their team consisted of Elmer Flores, Sean Andal, Dennis Andres, Paul Pagtalunan, and Abdul Jabbar D. The net team, which included Renz Bellarmino, Earl Tolentino, Rubix Baila, Martin Tobelo, and Cedric Sale, finished as the first runner-up. These two teams competed in a tough competition to win, and they both had a clear desire to do so. Things started to get interesting when Pooh of PAF pulled off a collateral, an in-game term used when a player eliminates two enemies with one shot, and that surely kept their 0-2 advantage. Following this, I Love Her Still of PAF took a big risk and pushed the Vipers, Net Spundulix, ultimate, then killed a cornered Net Rubex and was eventually killed by Spundulix after attempting to escape from Viper's decay. However, PAF still won the round despite the vile pressure applied by Net, and the game is now at 3-5. Both sides have been switched. Net are now the attackers, while PAF are the defenders. PAF proved that whichever side they were on, they had a plan to win. While under siege from Net, PAF controlled the battlefield with a lot of outplaying and clever callouts. Even though the game got tougher toward the finish, the score to this point was 4-10. PAF never looked back and was confident with their victory because the game was almost over. Sadly, PAF fell to Net in round 16 despite their accurate shots with the game's strongest sniper, Operator. PAF eventually prevailed, and their strategies, efforts, and collaboration paid off. Valorant is a free-to-play first-person hero shooter developed and published by Riot Games. As the event came to a close, the teenage gamers had the chance to compete in this tournament with other PSDNs and showcase their talents in Valorant.
Let us also hear about how Qatar continues to make headlines with its preparations for the FIFA World Cup 2022. Allow me to call on Danica Pilapil to take the stage.
After the long preparations and hard work done with the Qatar government for more than a decade, Qatar is only a few weeks away from kicking off FIFA World Cup 2022. Spectators, visitors, and players alike are thrilled for this momentous occasion, and they will be excited about what Doha has to offer for this year's Cup. Marking history as the very first Middle Eastern to host a reputable event, Qatar will be hosting 32 prominent teams from countries worldwide to play from November 21 to December 18. Ensuring comforts for fans, players, and citizens alike, Qatar has undergone massive constructions like new stadiums and infrastructure. This includes the Qatar Metro, which connects places around Doha, as well as bus services. With the spotlight being on Qatar, it plans to make itself known around the world through not just FIFA but also its culture. With this, it aspires to connect the Arab world and Western communities. The Qatar government stated, "We are confident that the wide participation of the countries of the world in this event will not only open the prospects for strengthening international economic partnerships, but will also constitute a springboard for strengthening the bridges of communication and dialogue between different peoples." The Qatar government hopes to deliver a smooth experience for incoming fans, visitors, and players.
I'm sure that our viewers are still trying to process all that they've heard and seen from this program. To take a break from sports and news, let's watch this wholesome video on kids trying to share some useful tips on how to deal with common problems in relationships.
Think of the first person you would ask for relationship advice. Chances are, you thought of someone you looked up to, an adult, your older sibling, a friend with love experience, or perhaps even a guidance counselor. These are all mature people with more life experiences. Therefore, a child is the last person anyone would think of consulting. What could they possibly tell us that we do not already know? To find the answer, we interviewed students from the Intermediate Department for Relationship Advice. Who knows? Maybe a few couples out there can learn something from their juniors. We approached Tia Pineda, a 5th grader from Gratitude. When asked for relationship advice, she responded,
I would tell them to be patient with their significant other.
Oh, thank you so much. This is something that is often overlooked in relationships. Sometimes, your significant other may need time or space to compose themselves, and it's your responsibility as their partner to respect that. Our other interviewee was a 6th grader from Wisdom named Gian Mendoza.
Try to always be kind and don't ever aggravate the other.
Okay, thank you. While being kind is always a good word of advice, we should also remember to take care of ourselves. Always remember both your and your partner's boundaries and limitations. There is a saying, with age comes wisdom, which could be interpreted as, the older a person, the wiser. However, despite their youth, the students answered maturely. In fact, you could say that they think even more like adults than their seniors. So although their advice seems like the last thing you'd need to hear, maybe a child's simplicity is what resolves relationship problems the best.
Moving forward to the feature segment, to recognize the achievements and efforts of PSDNs who have gone global, let us call forth Lawrence Villanueva and Unica de Vera.
Good day, I am Lawrence Villanueva.
And I am Unica de Vera.
Let us now look at some inspiring success stories of PSDNs who showcased their skills and talents and gained international recognition.
Since Philippine School Doha's inception in 1992, the establishment has never ceased to support skillful students in their journey to success. These students from Philippine School Doha are living proof of the establishment's unwavering excellence.
The first PSDN achiever story for today's program comes from filmmaker Jamie Navarro. From her humble beginnings as a PSDN in kindergarten to directing a short film for an American film festival, Jamie Navarro's passion for directing has truly shown beyond borders. Jamie was one of the few applicants out of 63 accepted into the Short Film Lab Project, an effort by the US Embassy in Qatar to teach young women to direct short films concerning primary issues of the age group. She created her short film entitled Troll following a several-month-long workshop. So far, Troll has been submitted to several film festivals in America and has won 2 awards. Jamie continues to hold a passion for film, music, and arts, and she currently works as an assistant producer for the Shorts by Shorties Film Lab. Jamie's achievement was not without struggles. Her biggest one was polishing her script constantly to get it ready for production. I was never 100% sure about the story I wanted to tell, but following frequent brainstorming sessions with my friends and advice from my mentors, I managed to get it as close as I could to perfection, Jamie recounted. Because of this, Jamie believes that sharing her ideas with others is important, as acquiring many different perspectives helps open her mind and make her a better artist. She also believes that aspiring directors should not be afraid to try something new. Most people think there's a right and wrong way to make a film, but I disagree. The film is art, and art is subjective, Jamie surmises. According to Jamie, you have nothing to worry about if you believe your film has fulfilled its intentions and delivered its message. She advises PSDNs that the key to achievement is trust. Trust yourself and trust the process. Pursuing your dreams won't be easy, but it's never impossible if you trust the journey.
Such inspiring words from Ms. Navarro. Heading over to our next story, a grade 12 student, Sybil Buesan, pursuing her athletic prowess internationally. Every aspiring dream of an athlete is to travel and compete internationally at a professional level. But only a few, like Sybil Buesan, have so far achieved that dream. After developing an interest in bowling at the young age of 8, Sybil went on to compete in an international tournament in Dubai, eventually placing as the overall first runner-up in the women's division. She also showed off her first runner-up title in the women's singles and teams divisions. Today, Sybil continues to study in PSD as a grade 12 student, but she will never forget her experience in Dubai. I met so many wonderful people from different parts of the world and made so many friendships that I will cherish forever. I learned so much, and I can't wait for the rest of my journey to come. Like any other achiever, however, Cybele was not without her struggles. When I first started, I wasn't taking it seriously. I was joking around and didn't even want to go to practice, she reminisces. I wanted to prioritize school, friends, and family. But when I started to be mature, I learned how to juggle everything. And now I get to finish schoolwork, practice, and still have time for friends and family. Cybele learned that she should always strive to be better and never give up. I taught myself at a young age that failure is a part of the process, practice makes you better and not perfect, and that if I gave up, I would never be the person I am today. She encourages aspiring bowlers to follow this mindset as training is long and intense, and the coach's advice should be followed vigorously. Cybele believes that every PSDN can live his or her dream with enough confidence. It took me a long time to find confidence in myself, but I learned how to love and appreciate what I want to do with my life. She wistfully recollects. With confidence, you will care less about what people think. Remember to take care of yourself, because later on in life you will see the difference that confidence can bring.
What a powerful story from Miss Buezon. Up next, a grade 11 ABM student pursuing a professional career as a basketball player, JC Cleon Cruz rides PSD across the world. JC Cruz, an 18-year-old ABM student of PSD, is a professional basketball player playing for the men's pro basketball team of Rayan. He started his basketball competition journey about 6 years ago and has been playing professionally for 2 years now. He started as a point guard and is now a combo guard who can play both point guard and shooting guard. With the current trend on TikTok, having a conversation with your younger self, JC reminisced about his very first experience playing basketball professionally and compared that to his experience now. He said that he was very shy and was unable to socialize and communicate with his foreign teammates. Now, he has built up confidence in playing with them. He also talked about when he first found out that he was going to be playing professionally. He was excited yet nervous at the same time, thinking about playing against the top players here in Qatar. He said that the excitement is present every time he played, that every game and season is an opportunity for him to showcase his skills and talent against international players. He then added that the nervous feeling has slowly dissipated over the years thanks to the trust of the management, his coach, and his fellow players. One of the most important lessons that JC has learned through the help of basketball is the value of respect. In the game of basketball, the competitive side will always be present, but in the end, respect for one another will always be an important thing to me. He also said that despite the need to juggle both basketball and school life, he is able to do so with the help of time management, the guidance and blessing of the man above, and the support of all his family and friends, as well as the teachers who have noticed his achievements. He continues by saying, "Hard work always pays off, no matter how hard the situation is. But if you love and are committed to what you're doing, it would not be a problem."
Mr. Cruz's story is simply astonishing to say the least. And last but not the least, a grade 11 ABM student, Nia Incabo continues to push the boundaries of excellence. Nia Incabo is a 17-year-old ABM student from PSD and school year 2022 to 2023's SSG grade 11 representative. She was born and raised in the United Kingdom and has a passion to serve, a desire to inspire and help others, and a love for performing arts. With a passion to serve others, the SSG was a perfect match. By the recommendation of her peers and the people around her, she decided to run for a position in the SSG. She says, "Being part of the SSG, I can see that along with being a voice for the voiceless, I could enhance more of my passions, leadership and public speaking." Along with that, Nia joined the PSD Debater Society last year, engaging in competition against other schools. She says that by training with her coaches, Sir Dave and Sir Alan, she developed her debate skills that hone her public speaking skills and confidence. Moreover, Nia also has a keen interest in the arts. With a love for performing arts, Nia is a great singer and actress, bagging the titles of last PSD Idol champion, champ in competition with Maleficent impersonation, and the job description of assigned model. Her love for performing arts started at home at a young age. Her modeling journey started in 2019, and this April 2022, she officially signed with an agency, and a month later, she was able to walk her first ever fashion show, which she considers the proudest moment in her modeling career so far, and her first major stepping stone towards her dream, competing in Miss Universe. She says that the Miss Universe contest is aligned with all my passions. One day, I want to be the one to inspire and help the people through this organization. She continues by saying that growing up, there wasn't a lot of representation for young Filipino girls, and being that representation now in the industry makes me proud beyond compare.
Last, but not the least, is the PSDN dancers who competed abroad for the UDO championships. Indeed, PSD could have been more proud of its global achievers. Yushine Aizen Balmonte of Grade 9 Lavoisier and Froilan Steve Hernandez of Grade 12 Niobium brought home the championship trophy on August 14 as part of Qatar's entry to the United Dance Organization's World Dance Competition in Blackpool, United Kingdom. Their coach, Gerald Hernandez, revealed that Yushine Balmonte and Froilan Hernandez are the best of the best dancers of Q Crew, the official entry of Qatar to the global competition. Team captain Grade 12 Hernandez is fond of learning different dance styles to discover more about the world of choreography. He said that he did not mind whether they attained first place or not, but instead centered his attention towards his goal, making sure everyone got out of the stage feeling proud. Meanwhile, Grade 9 Balmonte is a self-taught and passionate dancer who enjoys dancing as a form of self-expression. Never give up until you've given all your best. It's better to fail in your first attempts than to wonder what could have happened if you tried, she imparted. The United Dance Organization, UDO, anchors 57 events across Europe, Asia, America, Africa, and the UK. Impressing all 10 judges with their striking moves, Q Crew has not only bested over 50 teams springing from the UK, Asia, and Europe, but also scored the gold medal and trophy of the Under-16 competition. In closing, Grade 12 Hernandez pointed out that it is important to unleash one's self-worth and confidence because everyone has the utmost capacity to create their own masterpiece.
And there we have it. These stories really go to prove that PSDNs really are forces to be reckoned with.
They overcame struggles and broke boundaries. These students continue to pursue their passion and reach global recognition. Perhaps the formula for success truly is just hard work and dedication.
We, from the link, encourage you to impassion yourself and aim high. The link awaits the opportunity to place your name into this showcase.
Once again, this is Lawrence Villanueva.
And I am Unica De Vera, bringing you the top stories of PSDN Pride.
Truly, PSDNs continue to commit to the school motto, service and excellence.
Unfortunately, we have reached the end of this broadcast. Although, we thank you for tuning in.
Once again, I am Rama Manawis.
And I am Kirsten Ko.
And I am Ann Ilagan.
Your honored news anchors for today. We expose the truth.
We capture the moment.
And we serve the people. Beyond the Visionaries Inc. That is The Link.